und eine Vereinbarung getroffen haben, denn mit Caitlin und den Spielerinnen und den Tarifverträgen, die verhandelt werden, frage ich mich, ob das für die TopspielerInnen der BAN besten geeignet ist. Und die Schlüsselfrage bei Larry Bird ist, dass sie in der NBA eine feste Gehaltsobergrenze hatten. Und wenn man sich das ansieht und es auf den Tisch bringt, stehen die Tarifverträge mit Adam Silver und die Tarifverträge an. Sie werden am All-Star-Wochenende ein intensives Treffen abhalten. Und ich wollte das für Caitlin Clark und die Larry Bird-Regel zur Sprache bringen.
In basketball, Larry Bird's name has a level of significance that very few other names can match. He has been considered one of the NBA's most complete players for many years. A three-time Boston Celtics champion, a two-time Finals MVP, a three-time League MVP, and a Hall of Famer whose rivalry with Magic Johnson contributed to basketball's rise to prominence in the 1980s. His competitive spirit was famous, his confidence unwavering, and his manner grim but intelligent. Bird continued to be a legendary figure even after he retired, managing, coaching, and leaving his mark on the game. When Bird talks, the basketball community continues to pay attention. His thoughts feel more than commentary because of his reputation for ruthless frankness, keen insight, and honesty. They seem to be declarations. In contrast, Caitlin Clark embodies basketball's present and future in ways that Bird could never have predicted when he was a player.
Asia Wilson, Angel Reese, Brianna Stewart, die Superstars der WNBA sind besonders für Caitlin von Vorteil. Da sie über solche Marketingverträge verfügt, die wahrscheinlich durchschnittlich 30 bis 5 Millionen US-Dollar pro Jahr einbringen. Die Bird Rights geben einem Team die Möglichkeit, seine beste Spielerin zu verpflichten, ohne durch die Gehaltsobergrenze eingeschränkt zu werden. Beginnen wir mit dem Umsatz, denn Caitlin führt die Liga beim Umsatz an. Wo will ich damit hin? Es würde keinen Sinn machen, einen Vertrag für Caitlin Clark abzuschließen.
She has been nothing short of a phenomenon since joining the WNBA. She has given the women's game an unprecedented amount of attention, from her record-breaking college career at Iowa to her quick impact as a rookie. Fans flock to stadia to watch her shoot from the logo with Steph Curry-like confidence. However, she combines that with passing and court vision that turns teammates into dangers. Her participation has increased television ratings, media attention, and endorsements, making her the league's most talked-about player. She is now much more than just a basketball player. She is a crossover star and cultural force that has previously gone unnoticed by the WNBA. For this reason, when word of the basketball world stopped in its tracks when Larry Bird and Caitlin Clark unexpectedly joined forces. Fans were shocked when the two names, separated by generations but connected by basketball greatness, suddenly clashed in a headline. Bird, a legendary member of the Celtics, and Clark, the face of a league in dire need of rapid expansion, made a shocking revelation that instantly lit up social media. Their voices sounded like the voices of the past and the future speaking together. Insiders originally revealed that Bird had been working behind the scenes on a women's basketball project late one evening. The majority wrote it off as conjecture. Bird had, after all, long been associated with the NBA and front office positions. WNBA. However, the reports gained momentum when Clark was seen talking with people associated with the Pacers organization in Indianapolis, Bird's hometown. The news was official by the following morning. In addition to showcasing Clark's achievements, Larry Bird and Caitlin Clark had launched a joint venture that would establish Bird as a mentor and spokesperson for the advancement of women's sports. The shock came right away. Reactions from fans swamped timelines on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. Caitlin Clark and Larry Bird in the same sentence. One person commented, "I never thought I'd see this. This is the kind of crossover basketball sorely needs," according to another post. The new generation is supported by legends. Fans who wanted to demonstrate how seamless the gap between eras might be abruptly combined clips of Clark's deep threes with vintage film of Bird's making no-look passes and trash-talking bra. WNBA fans' response went beyond just enthusiasm. It was shock. The league had never witnessed an NBA Hall of Famer of Bird's quality publicly support a budding WNBA player. Yes, there had been supportive remarks, endorsements, and sporadic appearances by NBA greats at women's games, but this was unique. This was Larry Bird, a man who took great care to preserve his legacy, choose to stand side by side with Caitlin Clark in a way that suggested something much more: legitimacy, deference, and faith in the future of WNBA. Bird's notoriety contributed to the moment's potency. He never cared about making headlines or lending his name to fads. He had stayed nearly motionless in public for decades, his words measured and his presence dominating. Therefore, it felt purposeful and deliberate when he selected Clark as the player he wanted to support. Bird talked about how Clark reminded him of the fire he used to play with, her killing instinct, her capacity to perform well under duress, and the way she improved teammates just by being on the floor. He admitted that he was reminded of what made basketball wonderful in its simplest form when he watched her play. Clark in turn displayed nothing but respect. Bird, whom her father and coaches frequently cited as the epitome of toughness and competitive edge, was someone she had studied in highlight reels, according to her. She acknowledged that it was strange, but inspiring to suddenly have his support. She stated, "I have to live up to that every single day if Larry Bird believes in what I'm doing." There were several levels to the collaboration itself. Bird was more than simply a behind-the-scenes advisor. The two revealed plans for a cooperative basketball project that would combine Clark's contemporary flair with Bird's traditional principles and concentrate on youth camps and development initiatives. The project's goal was to encourage boys and girls who will play in the future to fall in love with the game in the same manner as before. In addition, Bird consented to assist Clark's team in navigating the tremendous demands of celebrity, which he had previously experienced firsthand. There were significant ramifications for the WNBA. The league has fought for recognition for years, finding it difficult to compete with the NBA's financial and cultural supremacy. But all of a sudden, the WNBA was in a different position, with Bird giving his legitimacy and Clark acting as the league's celebrity torchbearer. Analysts debated if this alliance would ultimately be the turning moment that propels the league into popular relevance in the wake of the announcement on sports shows. Media coverage, merchandise sales, and television ratings were already ascending as a result of Clark, adding a gravitas to Bird's speech that made it impossible for naysayers to ignore. Fans were shocked, not only by the announcement, but also by what it meant. It was evidence that the barriers separating the WNBA and NBA greats were falling. For athletes who had long felt ignored, it was confirmation. Additionally, it acknowledged that Caitlin Clark was more than just a skilled rookie. She represented something far bigger, a movement that might change the course of women's basketball. Players voiced their opinions even within NBA circles. Current celebrities expressed their support on Twitter, praising Bird's audacity. Make a move. Larry does more than just give compliments. If he's rocking with Caitlin Clark, then everyone better start paying attention, a player remarked in a post-game interview. The shocking revelation's impact only increased over the coming weeks. Sales of tickets for Clark's games increased even more. Media sites published feature articles that compared her style to Bird's, her long-range shooting to his lethal precision, her fierce rivalry to his constant trash talk, and her team-building skills to his supremacy with the Celtics. Seeing how the past and present are inextricably related made it the ideal historical lesson for younger fans. For older fans, it was confirmation that their recollections of Bird's glory were more than simply nostalgia. Rather, they served as a living connection to the game's evolution. The excitement on the internet never subsided. For days, hashtags that combined the names of Bird and Clark became popular. Clark's logo images were intercut with edits of Bird's famous three-point celebrations. "Legends aren't born," the caption stated. "They transfer the torch." A shared understanding replaced the feeling of shock. This collaboration wasn't a ruse. It was a true blending of times. The symbolism of this moment is what keeps it alive. Bird is a symbol of the NBA's illustrious past, when the organization battled for relevance and established itself in American sports culture. As she brings previously unheard of attention and enthusiasm to the women's game, Clark represents the WNBA's current struggle for the same notoriety. Collectively, They serve as evidence that the hardships of a single period can spur the emergence of another. It was a confirmation of years of devotion for WNBA supporters. It was an opportunity for casual admirers to take a deeper look. It was also a message for young players everywhere. No matter the league or gender, greatness is acknowledged. The basketball world was astounded by Larry Bird's iconic voice in Caitlin Clark's electric rise. One that is more than just a headline. It was an affirmation of solidarity, decency, and faith in the game's future. Clark's magnetism and Bird's legitimacy worked together like clockwork. And every crowded venue, every popular highlight, and every new fan learning about the WNBA for the first time are still seeing the knock-on consequences. This announcement will not only be remembered for the shock it caused when history reflects on it. It will be remembered as the point at which the WNBA's promising future and the NBA's illustrious past were finally connected. Caitlin Clark and Larry Bird didn't just reveal anything shocking. They produced a roadmap for basketball's future development, evolution, and inspiration. And the message is obvious to people who are seeing it play out. The game's future has never been more promising. For more tales like these, subscribe to Catch a Dime.